This land was made. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forests to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As the sun was shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, the fog was lifting and a voice was saying, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forests to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Thank you. Well, you guys did so well with that sing-along. We'd like to ask you to stand for our opening song, which is Surrender Today.
Ready?
Almost.
2, 3. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. Child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. Child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. I surrender.
Anton Miserak. I love that song, the 4th of July one, Bigger Than Bigotry. I don't know if you guys heard it because we were still chatting a little bit, but it's really good. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy 4th of July. Happy 250th anniversary of our country. And it's birthday Sunday for our individual birthdays as well. I'm Kimberly Hawkins. As always, my pleasure to welcome you to Center for Spiritual Living Rogue Valley in partnership with Unity of Medford. I'm the senior minister here, one among 6 ministers and practitioners, and it's always my pleasure to welcome you. No matter where you happen to be on your own personal spiritual journey, we are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive faith community. We teach tools to transform our personal lives and also help make a world that works for all. If you're here for the very first time, we'd love to give you a little hand welcoming applause. If you're here, would you raise your hand, please? Yep. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Yeah, that's our little love. If you didn't get a welcome packet, if you'd raise your hand again, Vivian or Virginia will bring you a welcome packet. I don't think you got one, did you? Thomas, you got one, okay. Hey, they took care of us, great. Let's see, what else do I have to say? A cast of characters to introduce. You've met Laura and Anton, our beautiful musicians, our bouncing musicians. Nancy Clay, our practitioner, will be doing our opening prayer and reading in just a moment. And practitioner Treasure Wild did our meditation and is holding high watch. So she is praying throughout the service for the highest and best good of everyone here, everyone watching online now or later. And by the way, welcome to those watching us online or watching the recording later on. If you have not already done so, please turn your cell phones off or in airplane mode. And I'm going to invite us, birthday song.
Yes,
birthday song.
birthday song.
All right, so if you have a birthday in July, we'd like you to stand so we can sing a version of Happy Birthday. The last two lines are, happy birthday, we sure do love you.
Woo, and we do.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. We sure do love you.
Happy birthday, Jason and Vivian. So I'm going to invite us now to take a collective deep breath. We're going to turn everything back over to our musicians to prepare us for our invocation and reading. And after this particular song, as always, please hold your applause because Nancy will take us right into prayer. Thanks.
And deep breath is appropriate. Peace within you. Deep peace within you. May peace be upon you. Deep peace be upon you. The peace within shines without like the sun, and it's only just begun. So breathe, just breathe. Breathe, just breathe. Tat tvamasi. Tat tvamasi. The light without and the light within are the same, just a different name. So breathe, just breathe. Breathe, just breathe. Just breathe. just breathe.
Just breathe. Am I on? Yes, I'm on. Okay. There is one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. That life is our life now. This life circulates through me. It animates my whole being. I open my mind as a channel for the realization of the divine presence, and I affirm and accept it. Nothing within me can deny or reject it. Because God is perfect, I am perfect. I accept the wholeness of spirit with complete conviction, identifying myself and everything that I am with the harmony, the perfection, and the wholeness of life, of the life of God. As this is true for me, it is true for all, for every sentient being in the universe. I wanted to use just one strong statement this morning to try to sum everything up in this confusing world. And that is that there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is our life now. Now. So if you repeat after me, there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is our life now. Thank you. And so it is. So I have a reading this morning from the Science of Mind magazine, from one of the daily readings. And I love the title of it because sometimes I think there is nothing that I know for sure, except that there is only one life. This is called What I Know for Sure. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. From Mark 11:21. To realize that God is ever present, ever available, is to know that all the wisdom, intelligence, and power of the universe is right where you are. Your word is power when you know this. I know life is amazing and also can be terrifying. I know life is abundant and also there is scarcity. I know there is kindness and goodness, and yet there is hatred and resentment. I know most of the time life doesn't seem to make sense, and the problems of the world appear to be incredibly overwhelming. Yet, what I know for sure is that there is a power for good, a source of creativity and peace and joy. Whatever you may call this presence, I know it as love. I know love is unconditional, everlasting, and ever-present, even in the midst of confusion, sorrow, and pain. I know love is everywhere and in everyone, and I am willing to see beyond the contradictions of the world, to see love in every person. Every person. I am willing to see beyond confusion, to know the presence of love is all at the center of every activity. Every activity. What I know for sure is that you and I are on this amazing journey to know and see love for each other and ourselves. I know that even in the midst of fear and doubt, our prayers are always answered. I know that, as Holmes wrote, prayer is not an act of overcoming God's reluctance, but should be an active acceptance of his highest willingness. I know you are abundantly blessed with God's gifts of love, joy, and peace. And our affirmation for today is, I know the presence of love is at the center of every activity. Every activity. And so it is.
Okay, Anton wants me to announce this song. You've heard this once before when I wrote it a few months ago for a talk by Reverend Laura Stewart, and you're going to hear it again now, and I hope you enjoy it. Looking back at all the broken secrets left behind, innocence proclaimed and yet never brought to mind, ordinary passions and a million ways to find, let it come like a balm to my soul. If you fly like a bird, carry rainbows of gold, and the mountaintops have heard of your name. In the wonders of the mystic and the stories untold, the light inside will be the same. So much magnificence. Carry the light, carry the sound, carry it through, carry the pattern of your soul. In your magnificence, open your dream, be what you seem, shine out your light, be the magnificence you know. If you fly like a bird, carry rainbows of gold, and the mountaintops have heard of your name. In the wonders of the mystic and the stories untold, the light inside will be the same. So much magnificence. Carry the light, carry the sound, carry it through, carry the pattern of your soul. In your magnificence, open your dream, be what you seem, shine out your light, be the magnificence you know. Shine out your light.
Laura. That was gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. Whew. Well, our theme for July is wholeness no matter what. Wholeness no matter what. Our founder of Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, said when we speak of the whole, what we're talking about is God, right? God. Now, we often use this phrase when we treat, when we do affirmative prayer for someone. If we're speaking about John, we'll say, John is whole, perfect, and complete. Well, when we're praying for someone, typically they're not feeling whole, perfect, and complete. And maybe they're not appearing like they are whole, perfect, and complete, right? Maybe they're experiencing sickness or lack of finances or disharmony with somebody in their life or discouragement with what's going on in the world. But that truth, that thing that I know, what was it, Nancy? What I know for sure. What we know for sure is the essence of John, what Laura sang about. The light is eternal and always whole, perfect, and complete. We can never be separate from the divine, from our Creator. It's all there is. Now, we also know that our consciousness creates. So in our false beliefs, or in our worries and our fears and the ego's striving, to make something happen, we can experience lack, we can experience sickness, etc. But it's not our permanent home. And it's not the truth with a capital T of who we are. I've mentioned lately several times that the only thing we ever really need to heal is the belief or the idea that we can be separate from God, separate from the divine. It's not true. We can't. I have been finishing up actually, this 6-part series by Baird Spalding called The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. The person that recommended me this series of books said it's really science of mind, and it is science of mind on steroids, I believe. I mean, that he knows what he knows what he knows. And Baird led trips to India and studied with the masters there, Hindu men, mostly men, women too. Baird was a contemporary of both Charles Fillmore, founder of Unity, and Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind. Baird was born in 1872, kind of between the two men. He was a little bit younger than Charles Fillmore, a little bit older than Ernest Holmes, and I wonder if he read them, because I don't know. I guess he didn't need to. He had his own experience of truth, but it is amazing. So I want to read you something he said. Corey has a slide for us, so you can read along with me. I am always that which I am in spirit, not what I seem to be in experience or what I've experienced in the world. No matter what I have gone through or seem to be going through, I still remain what I am in the original sense, the image and likeness of God. No matter what, wholeness. This does not change. Now again, consciousness creates, so we can create things that don't look like the image and likeness of God. By the way, we seem to have created a God in our image and likeness, right? Anybody grow up with the angry, punishing God that we had to please? That's when we have created God in our image. God is not angry. God doesn't punish. God doesn't get mad, right? We are created in God's image. We get it reversed sometimes. So, if we can maintain a conscious connection to the perfection that God is, all inharmonious conditions dissipate, they disappear. When we can maintain a conscious connection to the perfection. Because we're always connected, right? But we have to be conscious of it. We have to know what we know, what I know for sure. And this is a felt sense. This is not just an intellectual sense. We embody it. Remember, Jesus said, I and the Father are one. That's true of us too. He also said, know ye not that ye are gods? We are individualized expressions of that one life. We are divine. We have the power within us to tap into that universal power and create whatever it is we want. We don't really create it ourselves. We allow God to create it with us, to co-create it. So if we learn to reach for that consciousness and know that perfection, that's all we experience. Literally, I believe this. I haven't quite mastered it, I gotta admit to you, but think about it. If we could know that we know that we know that we are that connected perfection and that's all we are, we would not have to experience anything that we didn't want. I believe that is the truth. Simple but not easy. I think you'd agree, yes? Simple but not easy. Now, Baird talks about the idea of heredity, and I find this very interesting. Heredity and the part it could play but doesn't have to play in our illnesses. We've all heard about illnesses we can inherit. We've all heard about genes, right, that we have a preponderance to have whatever it is, from breast cancer to whatever. And that's true. We may have a preponderance and we may have the genetic predisposition to be susceptible to that disease. It doesn't mean we have to experience it or contract it. It simply doesn't mean that. So Baird says it's hypnotism. We have adopted, absorbed what Ernest Holmes called race consciousness, thoughts about our limits, fears, that if we weren't hypnotized in that way, no heredity disposition. Did you all talk about this in Spiritual Circle this morning? I can see nods and laughs. Awesome. I don't think I've read that article. I'll have to. Yeah.
It didn't go in that direction. That's just how the conversation went.
Okay. All right. I love it. It just goes. So we wouldn't have sickness of any kind, says Baird, if it weren't for our conditioning. Scientists in the leading universities in India in Baird's time concluded that there would be no appearance of what we call heredity if people would drop it out of their thought completely. That's the power of our consciousness. Wow. Now remember, even Jesus said in Matthew 23:9, he said, not to call no man on earth your father. Call no man on earth your father, for only one is your Father, which is in heaven. So in this lifetime, we may come through parents, but our true parent is the divine, and that is our only heredity. This is the one and only true inheritance. Again, the laws of heredity are brought about by human thoughts, which we can completely set aside anytime we choose. But our conditioning has made us forget our true origins. Now, to set aside our conditioned thoughts, we must take on what new thought leaders have called Christ consciousness, which is simply the consciousness of oneness, which Jesus so beautifully exemplified. We can't be separate. That beautiful passage that Nancy read, there's only one life. That life is God's life. I've also heard it said, that life is perfect. That life is my life now, which is a great affirmation to use daily. Paul, in his letter to the Philippians 2:5, said this, "Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus." Ernest Holmes says that the mind which was in Christ Jesus means the mind of God. Not our personal mind, but the mind of the creator and ruler of the universe. But remember, God can only work for us by working through us. We have to allow that in, right? We have to saturate ourselves in that truth. I think that phrase, be still and know that I am God, covers it right here. If we can truly be still and know, I am God, so are you. We all are that. It's simple, again, but not necessarily easy. Our I must be single. It must be single. Now, this idea can be applied not just to our health, but to everything else we want to experience, to abundance, to harmonious relationships, to happiness, to peace of mind, if we simply practice the presence. The title that I chose for today, back early in the week, was Not One Part Apart. Not a part, one part, apart, meaning it's all one, right? And I kind of diverted, like you guys did, Laura, in your group this morning. I kind of got off on a tangent. So I still believe this is true. I still believe that any of the parts of ourselves that we consider shameful or unacceptable are not, because we are only God. But we can also say, I don't need to be ashamed. I don't need to feel fearful, because, listen, I'm connected to that perfection. Everything I need and want is offered. It is God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. You might have noticed there's a flag in the sanctuary this morning. We don't usually display the flag, which is my choice because I love this country. I am so grateful to have been born here. When I hear patriotic songs, I tear up and well up just like most of us do. However, I don't believe nationalism has any place in a spiritual gathering, because we are one. We are all one, and we can be proud of our country, we can love our country, we can celebrate our birthday, all is well and good, but let's not separate ourselves from the rest of the world. So on the 4th of July, on Memorial Day, on Labor Day, I like to remember to bring out the flag, because we're celebrating something specific here in the United States. Truly, there are no boundaries, no divisions, right? So there's a story that I came across this week again and was reminded of that really illustrates this idea of no boundaries, no divisions. You may have heard it. It was an astronaut. His name was Rusty Schweickart. He was aboard the Apollo mission to the moon in 1969, and he was the captain, or whatever you call it, of the lunar landing module. And he got to experience that view of the Earth from space that we've heard other astronauts write about. So thrilling. And it brought about in Rusty a completely new perspective, a completely new consciousness. So I want to read you some of the things he said. As he circled the globe, identifying in his own head places, there's Los Angeles, there's Houston, there's North Africa. The process of identifying with the world began to shift. Here's what he wrote. You begin to recognize that your identity is with the whole thing. You look down and can't imagine how many borders you cross, and you don't even see them. People killing each other over some imaginary line, but you see it as a whole, and it's so beautiful. And you wish you could take individuals from each side in various conflicts, one in each hand, and say, look at it from this perspective. What's important? What's really important? Then, in doing a spacewalk and in being in that incredible silence and beauty, he says, I felt like I was a sensing point for humankind. I recognize that we are all a piece of this total life. What a beautiful perspective to receive and hopefully to maintain. And prayer helps us get there, right? Our 5-step treatment starts with recognition, recognizing the divine as all there is, as Nancy so beautifully did as she gave our opening prayer. This past week, y'all know, some of you know, that I attend a coffee hour every Wednesday morning with other pastors in the area. They're Christian pastors, but they're progressive Christian pastors, and they've become such good friends. And one of them, who's the bridge minister at Eastwood Baptist, was talking to us about their process. Their congregation has diminished, and their funding was very, very precarious, and they had to do something to revive the community. So she explained that what she's been doing is lifting up in prayer. They've been praying every Sunday after service. They pray during the week to be led and guided of how to revitalize this community. But she said, we've been lifting up and then letting go, which is what we do in our prayer, right? We lift up, recognizing truth, recognizing God is all there is, recognizing that we can't be separate. We affirm what we want to see as already done, and we release it into the law of God and let it go and let God, because we don't have to do it. And what's happened in her community over the course of this month with all of this lifting up and letting go and letting God is they have come across a way to revitalize the church. A group in the Baptist community, well, I don't think they're just Baptists, that know how to do this, has stepped in, and they're in the process of reinventing themselves. And I'd like us to do this as we move toward considering selling this building and moving to a new spot. You know, let's be lifting up this idea and letting go and letting God and trusting that there's a miracle. You know, the miracles didn't just happen 2,000 years ago. Jesus said, these things and more ye shall do. Why do we think it only happened 2,000 years ago? It's happening now, right here, right now, and it can happen with our new church home, with everything else in our lives that we wish to see a shift. I came across a poem that talks so well about this conditioning that we receive from the world, this implanting of limited thoughts and fear thoughts and race consciousness. This is from a man named Steve Taylor. The poem is a little lengthy. It's called The Primal Soul. At first you were no one, a primal soul, an open space of being, until they discovered you in the wilderness. They took you to the city to civilize you, to build you an identity. They taught you their signs and signals, gave you a religion and a nationality, and handed you a list of rules. They showed you their ancient traditions and told you it was your duty to maintain them. They gave you a history and a destiny, made you a character in their story. They pointed out your brothers and sisters, told you that you were different and special, taught you to feel proud and loyal and to be wary of those with different rules and traditions, and different signs and signals whose lives are less precious than yours. And finally, they were satisfied that you belong to them completely. But it's not true. Sometimes you feel it deep down inside, like the whisper of a faraway voice carried by the wind, a faint memory of your primal state and a longing to return. You know the original open space of you is still there, underneath all those layers of identity, indestructible, unchangeable. And maybe now you're strong enough to reclaim yourself. Maybe you're mature enough to become a child again. So step out of the story, exempt yourself from those ancient rules, cast off those old traditions, declare yourself free of the past and the future with your own journey to discover and your own reality to create. Tell your people you're still one of them, just a member of a bigger group that they're all part of too. A group with no rules or boundaries that embraces without exclusion. Tell your people there's too much at stake for the human race to remain fragmented. Our broken pieces have already scarred the world too much. Tell your people that you have new eyes that can see the deep ocean of oneness beneath the shifting surface of waves. Then walk back into the wilderness, naked and empty again, and dance with primal joy. Woo! I want to bring back one of those lines, be a child again. Be a child again. Remember, Jesus said, unless you become as a little child, in no way can you enter the kingdom of heaven. What did he mean? There are a lot of ways to interpret that. I think he meant a child hasn't yet been hypnotized by all the stuff that Steve just talked about. A child is still connected to that perfection. A child lives with wonder and awe and joy. That's why we love being around children so much. Little children that have been raised at least with love, right? There's nothing like it. They radiate oneness. There's no boundary. It's like dogs. Dogs want to be friends with everybody. Little children uninterfered with the same way. They're love incarnate. They know they're one. So we can become again like those little children, like a child. Yeah. We can embrace all our feelings again, knowing that there are no bad parts, only parts that have become confused and misguided. Not the truth of our being. So let's remember to make this connection each day with perfection. Let us be lifted up, let go, and let God, the infinite intelligence, lead the way. Again, my favorite Bible verse, I'm sorry, but it keeps coming back to me. Proverbs 3:4. I trust in the Lord with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding. In all ways, I kind of rewrote this. I acknowledge Spirit, and it shall direct my paths. Another translation, shall make my paths straight. Love it. I wanted to share another story with you. It's kind of appropriate since it's our birthday. This one is about Teddy Roosevelt. During the toughest time in his administration, he had a certain practice that connected with him with the greater, with the perfection. When a tough day would end, Roosevelt would take members of his staff outside and search the night sky until they found the square of Pegasus up there. Roosevelt would recite the same lines every night. Pointing to Pegasus, he would say, "This is the spiritual galaxy in Andromeda. It's as large as our Milky Way. It has 100 million galaxies. It consists of 100 billion suns, even larger than our own." And then Roosevelt would smile and say, "Now I think we can handle our problems. Let's go to bed." Don't you love it? I mean, look up, look beyond what's here right now. Roosevelt knew that if he kept the bearings of knowing we're part of something much grander, much bigger, that the grand potential of this nation and the world would be fulfilled. He knew that once our consciousness shifts from a feeling of separateness to one of wholeness, of oneness, that our vast genius, which is really God's vast genius, right, will serve the growth of ourselves, of this nation, and of this planet. Can I get an amen? So I want to end with a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I think we have this up on the screen. Yeah, Corey, thank you. "We see the world piece by piece as the sun, the moon, the animal, the tree. But the whole of which these are the shining parts is the soul. From within or from behind, a light shines through us upon things and makes us aware that we are nothing, but the light is all." The light is all. Reminiscent of Laura's beautiful, beautiful thing. So, I'll leave you with these things to remember this week. There is only one life. That life is perfect. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. Let's remember to make that connection with perfection every day. And in prayer, let's lift up, let go, and let God. Let's go into prayer. On this weekend, the 250th anniversary of this great nation of ours, this nation founded on the principle that everyone deserves life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. One nation under God, one nation, but part of a world that is all a part of the light of God's creation. We are one with each other, with God. That can never, ever. One nation indivisible, but one world indivisible, one universe indivisible. That power and presence which created all we see and all we cannot even imagine that exists, nothing we've explored yet, that one power and one presence is everywhere, always, all-knowing, all-powerful. I know it as unconditional love, as perfect peace, the peace that passeth all understanding. I know it as infinite possibility, unlimited abundance of all good, freedom, joy, intelligence, possibility. I know that the truth of us is that we are that light. We are here to express. When Emerson talked about that soul, our soul within knows what we're here to do. If we're guided by that soul, that essence of who we are, that seed of desire that was planted there by the divine, we cannot go wrong. So we shed this week any idea of limitation, any of the race thoughts that got put in our head, whether it's we're bound to have a disease because our mother or father did, whatever the limitations are, we cast them off. We look to perfection. We lift up. Let go. Let God. I know that this week, as the nation begins its next 250 years, we begin a new phase in our life when we can stay connected, when we can stay aware, when we can create from that place of what our heart tells us, not our scared ego head. We can become again like a child, unhypnotized, absolutely loving and trusting the divine and trusting the divine moving through all of life, all of it. I'm so grateful for the teachers that have preceded us, both ancient and modern. I'm so grateful for this community and for the opportunity to share and imbibe in truth together. I'm so grateful to know that this prayer, as all prayers, is already answered in the mind of the divine. So we just let it go. And I invite us to say together, and so it is. Amen.
Well, we're going to invite you to sing along with this next song as kind of a follow-on sung prayer, contemplation, however you like to think of it. Just take those words in deeply. And I made one slide for the whole song, so there's some parentheses with a bunch of words. Each verse we're going to sing the first word through the first time, the second word through the second time. So you'll hear it.
The strength of God is in my life, and I am strong.
Now you get a little break.
I am.
Or you can join. It's just I am.
life of God is in my life,
and
I am whole. I am whole.
And holy.
Beautiful. Don't you love how their songs flow with the message? Thank you. And thank you, Corey, for all the slides. Yeah. Corey. Time now for our offering. As always, I want to thank you all for supporting us. We are an abundant community and so grateful for your support. If you are putting something in the basket today, wonderful. There are envelopes behind the purple chairs if you need one for cash. I know a lot of you give online, so please just bless the basket as it goes by. If you're watching online, you'll see a QR code. If you'd like to contribute, that would be wonderful. Let's say our affirmation together. Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, and purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed her grace on thee, and crown thy good with sisterhood from sea to shining sea.
I love that version. All inclusive. Before I invite Treasure Wild up with many announcements, lots going on as usual in this community, I wanted to remind you that along with our weekly newsletter that goes out Wednesday, this week I sent a link to a brief survey about how you feel about looking for a new church home and what your priorities are. And we really want your feedback in this. So I know a lot of you, have already answered. If you can possibly answer online, that is our preference. There's just a link. Well, I better hold this. There's just a link, and it's quite easy. But if for some reason you do not get our newsletter or you just can't negotiate a computer, raise your hand, please, and Vivian has a written copy of the survey. Anybody want a written copy instead of online? Maybe not. Awesome. You're okay. So please do that ASAP so we can figure out where we go from here. Whoops. I'm going to invite Trasia now up with the rest of our announcements.
Good morning. Good morning. All right. We love to connect, so please join us for fellowship in Bosworth Hall right after the service today. And while you're there, if you need a name tag, please do sign up for one back in the corner here. Today at 4 o'clock, Anton and Laura will be hosting a kirtan at Jackson Wellsprings. You're invited to come and sing along with them. Men's group meets tomorrow at 11 a.m. Tai Chi and Miracle Makers meet this week at their regular times, and poetry is on hiatus until July 21st. Reverend Kimberly is hosting a 4-week class, Rumi, Walking the Inner Path of Love, and it started 2 weeks ago, so we're halfway there. The class meets Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock. Join in for poetry, meditation, music, and discussion inspired by the teachings of the beloved Sufi mystic Rumi. Sign up also in Bosworth Hall or online. July 19th, 2 weeks from today, we're asking everyone to bring a little yummy something for a potluck. We're going to do a little send-off and appreciation for Bill and Connie Miner. Wave your hand, guys. And yeah, so much appreciation to you. And we want to send you out full of love and our gratitude as you're moving into new vistas. So thank you so much for doing that, everyone. We do have a live announcement from Nancy Clay, and then we'll talk a little bit more about volunteerism. Come on up. Yes, it's very helpful.
Me again. I have a very sincere request of you today. I think a lot of you know that we have been participating in a program with First Presbyterian Church to help feed those in the community who need help with food. And so we have a group. We've been doing this for a year and a half, but it's summer and it's vacation season, and the demand is up and the participation is down. And so for the next month at least, but probably for the rest of July and all of August, I'm asking others to come and join us on Wednesday mornings at 9:30 at First Presbyterian Church. And if you think this is something you can do, come and talk to me after the service. And we have a lot of fun. It's very fulfilling to be handing people in our community something that they need, personally touched by us. And I would just encourage every one of you to experience that if you can.
So Nancy, you're making sandwiches. You might want to tell them.
Okay, so what we are doing is making sandwiches. Everything is supplied that we need. We meet at the church in their social hall, and we just sit around tables and talk and put together sandwiches until we've used up all the supplies. And that's basically it. It's not hard work. It's a really special hub of activity on the mornings that this is happening. And so if you can do it, I would really appreciate it. So thank you.
So if you want to do that, to connect with Nancy, sitting around tables, talking and making sandwiches, right? Fun stuff. Volunteering. Did you know that volunteering turns ordinary moments into sacred connection? When you offer your hands, your smile, your time, you become part of the undercurrent of connection that helps our spiritual community feel like home. And the blessing comes full circle. Service has a way of deepening your purpose, opening your heart, and reminding us that we are all a part of the whole. We have volunteer opportunities. If you would like to help in the kitchen before or after service, please contact Terry Mershon Samuelson. Is she in here? Wave your hand if you're in here. Otherwise, she's probably in the kitchen. If you are interested in helping with the Sunday video team, see Corey Rennick. Yay, hey, and we'd love to have you be a part of our food and fellowship ministry. There's a sign-up sheet available, and you're warmly invited to add your name to bring something for a future Sunday. There's always fun things happening here. You can check out all of our scheduled events on the calendar page of our website at cslroguevalley.org. Sign up to receive our e-newsletter here in the Bosworth Hall on our website, or email us at cslroguevalley@gmail.com. The practitioner team loves to pray with and for you. There is one shared prayer box at the back of the sanctuary for both CSL and Unity. You'll find the prayer request forms in the pouch on the back of the purple chairs or at the back of the sanctuary near the box. Glad you're here. Thanks.
Thank you, Treasure and Nancy. I think Nancy also mentioned to me this week that that group of sandwich makers used to meet every other week, right? Yes. And now they're meeting every week, and there have been times when they finish a sandwich and they hand it to somebody right away. So it's such a needed service. And anybody else in here a member of that group? I know Ginny's not. Yeah. Thank you. And I've been there when they used to meet here, and they have a blast. They're yakking away and just having a great old time. So thank you all for your service doing that. So we've come to the end of our service. I want to invite practitioners and ministers in the room that are available for prayer to come forward. As Treasure mentioned, they're available to do a 5-step affirmative prayer treatment with you to lift up, right, and let go and let God. So please, if there's something heavy on your heart, come on up. It's their pleasure and honor to pray with you. They can pray here in my office in the living room if you want a little private spot. So if you're able, I'm going to invite you to stand for our closing song, and I'm going to leave you once again with that wonderful affirmation. If you repeat it after me, there's only one life.
There is only one life.
That life is God's life.
That life is God's life.
That life is perfect.
That life is perfect.
And that life is my life now.
That life is my life now.
All right, let's sing to it.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light and the love and the glory, in the light and the love and the glory, I am. In the light and the love and the glory, in the light and the love and the glory, in the light and the love and the glory, I am. I am as God created me,